Port Charles was alive with whispers. Jack Brennan, the former WSB head-turned-shady government operative, had managed to fool nearly everyone in town with his smooth words, calculated charm, and expensive suits. But his ambitions stretched beyond clandestine missions and political chess. He wanted Carly Spencer, not just in passing, but forever. With Jason Morgan presumed dead, and Sonny Corinthos caught in a storm of moral compromise, Carly had spent the last several months fiercely independent, running her hotel, defending her children, and trying to heal from the betrayals that had gutted her heart. Brennan had taken advantage of that vulnerability. But what neither he nor Carly expected was the storm their bond would unleash, especially once Josslyn Jax learned the truth. Josslyn Jax stood in front of the mirror at her dorm room, pacing. Her phone buzzed on her desk. Trina, Cameron, Dex. All three had texted, asking where she was. But she couldn't move. Not yet. She had uncovered something explosive. And she had no idea how to tell her mother. Earlier that week, Josslyn had stumbled upon encrypted files on Brennan's laptop when he left it unattended during a visit to Carly's kitchen. Her tech-savvy friend, Gio, had helped decrypt them. What they found was horrifying. Brennan had been indirectly responsible for the polonium poisoning scheme that nearly killed Carly 6 months ago. Even worse, Brennan had orchestrated Sonny's ambush in Puerto Rico. The man was not only a liar, he was a lethal manipulator. And now he was about to propose to her mother? Josslyn knew she couldn't stay silent. The Metro Court rooftop had been transformed into an elegant, candlelit paradise. Carly, dressed in an off-shoulder navy gown, looked radiant but conflicted. Something about tonight felt too polished, too perfect. She had dated enough dangerous men to sense when something didn't add up. But Brennan had been persistent, consistent, and warm. And lately she had started believing him. As the string quartet played softly, Brennan knelt down on one knee. "Carly Corinthos Spencer," he began, pulling out a velvet box. "You've been the fiercest, most brilliant light in my life. You don't need rescuing. You don't need protection. But if you'll allow me, I want to be your partner in everything. Will you marry me?" Gasps went up among the intimate crowd. Sam, Drew, Olivia, even Laura. Ava stood stiffly in the back, arms crossed, as if she knew a proposal from Brennan meant trouble. Carly opened her mouth to respond, and then Josslyn's voice cut through the air like a blade. "Don't you dare say yes." Everyone turned. Josslyn stood at the edge of the rooftop, breathless, hair windswept, eyes blazing. Carly blinked. Josslyn strode forward, waving a tablet. "You want to marry a man who tried to kill you, Mom? Then go ahead. But you should know who he really is before you do." Brennan stood quickly, his proposal forgotten. "Josslyn, whatever you think you've found, don't lie to me," Josslyn shouted. "I have files. I have voice recordings. You weren't in Port Charles to protect Carly from Sonny. You were here to control her. And the moment she stopped being useful to you, she was targeted." Carly's face turned pale. "What the hell are you talking about?" Josslyn handed the tablet to her. "Read it. Go to page 3. See the part where Brennan authorizes Operation Parallax, a covert mission involving lethal toxins planted in domestic territories. One of those targets? You, Mom. That polonium? It came from him." Gasps rippled across the rooftop. Drew took a step forward. "Is this true, Brennan?" Brennan's mask faltered. For a split second, his face went cold. The WSB assassin beneath the charm flickered into view. But then he smoothed his expression. "This is all out of context. Josslyn doesn't understand." Carly stepped forward and slapped him hard across the face. "You son of a bitch." Silence enveloped the rooftop. Brennan touched his jaw, eyes narrowing. "You manipulated me," Carly spat, tears in her eyes. "You pretended to be this thoughtful man, someone I could rebuild with, and the entire time, you were using me." "I do care about you," Brennan growled. "But we live in a world that's not black and white. You know that. You've lived with men who've killed, who've lied. Jason. Sonny. What makes this so different? Because they didn't try to poison me." Carly screamed. Carly lunged at him, fists pounding his chest, hair flying. Sam rushed in, pulling her back. Brennan didn't fight back, but he didn't apologize either. "You were supposed to be smarter," Carly hissed. "You think you can manipulate women like me and get away with it? You don't know who the hell I am." Brennan's eyes turned to steel. "You'll regret this." "No," Carly said with a deathly calm. "You will." Within an hour, Carly had forwarded Josslyn's decrypted files to Anna, Laura, and Robert Scorpio. By morning, the Justice Department was notified. Brennan's alliances, carefully hidden in political shadows, began to collapse. He was implicated in multiple off-the-book operations, including the assassination attempt on Sonny and the biochemical lab in Greenland. Anna met Carly at her kitchen later that day. "We're going after him," Anna promised. "But it won't be easy. Brennan has high-level protection. He'll go underground." Carly, still reeling, poured herself coffee. "Then I'll drag him into the light. I've had enough of men thinking they can use me as a pawn." "You're not a pawn," Anna said. "You're queen. And Brennan just underestimated you." Meanwhile, Brennan disappeared from Port Charles that night, but not before sending Carly a chilling message. "This isn't over. You could have had the world. Now you'll burn with it." At Sonny's penthouse, Christina paced while Dex filled him in on the rooftop disaster. Sonny's expression darkened. "I knew Brennan was a snake," he muttered. "I should have ended him in Puerto Rico." "You tried," Dex said. "He was one step ahead." "Not anymore," Sonny growled. "He hurt Carly. That's the last thing he'll ever do." Over at the Quartermain estate, Michael comforted Josslyn, who was still shaken. "You were brave," he told her. "Mom needed you." Josslyn nodded. "I didn't know if she'd believe me. I just couldn't let her walk into a trap." "She didn't. Because of you." Meanwhile, Drew confronted Carly, ashamed he hadn't seen through Brennan sooner. Carly didn't lash out at him, but the distance between them was undeniable. "You were supposed to be my shield," she whispered. "Instead, my daughter had to save me." Drew looked shattered. Brennan's flight out of Port Charles didn't go unnoticed. Jason Morgan, operating in deep cover, reemerged in Greece, tracking a lead tied to Brennan's last known contact. At the same time, Laura enlisted the help of Victor Cassidy's old enemies, shady allies who wanted Brennan gone as much as she did. Even Dante, torn between duty and vengeance, vowed to find him. The entire town of Port Charles began treating Brennan's betrayal as a national emergency. But for Carly, it was personal. "I don't care if he's in a bunker or a black site," she told Jason on a secret call. "I want him to look into my eyes before he falls." At the Corinthos kitchen days later, Carly and Josslyn sat together, sipping wine and laughing softly, something they hadn't done in weeks. "You saved me," Carly said, reaching across the table. "You are so strong. I don't know how I raised a girl like you, but I'm grateful every day." Josslyn smiled. "You taught me how to fight, Mom. I just did what you would have done." They hugged, tears falling freely. But there was joy in the pain, a reminder that this family, no matter how many times it shattered, always found a way back. In an undisclosed location, Brennan stood in front of a digital map. Multiple red pins marked targets in Port Charles: Sonny, Jason, Carly, and Josslyn. A woman entered the room, a figure cloaked in secrecy. "She turned on you," the woman said. Brennan didn't look up. "They always do." "What now?" His smile was ice. "Now, I burn Port Charles to the ground." Brennan strikes back from the shadows, and Carly becomes his number one target. Jason and Sonny unite in a dangerous alliance to protect Carly and Josslyn. A secret from Brennan's past could hold the key to his downfall, but it's buried in Carly's own history. Josslyn is approached by the WSB for recruitment, but can she escape her mother's fate? And, in a final shocking twist, Brennan isn't working alone.